Good morning, friends. Morning, Luna. Tuesday. What a day. So far, so good. Hopefully for you as well. Good old-fashioned Tuesday. I learned a lot about the moon last night. A lot. I stayed up very late, learning and learning and learning. Still have no idea what it's made out of. But I'm working on it. I'm learning. Yeah. Not our moon, but the moon. We each have a moon inside of our hearts. I don't know if you knew that or not, but some of us have two or three, but I only have one. And they call it the moon chamber. It's where I go to meditate and think about all the moons that are out there in the universe, in the cosmos. As I sip on my coffee. quite an intriguing thing. Moon-shaped pools all over the place, left and right. You know the drill. Little eyes. Eyes are important when you're trying to draw them. At least that's what I've been told. Maybe that was a lie as well. It is interesting too how we are one of the only species that has eyes like our brain is like right on top of our eyeballs. When we stand upright. Out of all of the millions of different species on this planet, mammals, I guess, we're the only ones that stand upright for long periods of time. That's a trip. All I'm trying to say is that evolution got it wrong. And I'm going to prove it someday. Long after I'm gone. My bones are going to prove it. From the bone grave. Also the name of my band back in high school, Bone Grave. We didn't really make it that far. We were famous in England, but never really did much in the States, unfortunately. It's a different time. It was the 1800s. People were sick. People were different. When they say it was the best and the worst of times, that's the period that they're talking about. Between 1 and 2. Yeah, horrible. Despicable time. Thank you, Luna. You be careful out there. Bye. Good morning, everybody. Why is everybody so quiet? I hope Australia is good today. As I hope the rest of the world is. What the? What am I gonna do there? I'll just draw a little tongue. There we go. Now he's got a little tongue. Texture is always a good thing. Thank you, Angelico. That's very nice of you to say. You can lead a horse to water, and then you can drown it. That's all I have to say about that. Damn's good eating. And if it was the apocalypse, I'd be living off horse meat. That's all. That's all I gotta say about that. I think it's important to draw and eat horse meat. All that stuff. Well, I just started this a few minutes ago. Technically 23 minutes ago. And I'm pretty sure I'm drawing a portrait of a sun god named Tiacacuatl. Can never pronounce that right. Tiacacuatl was a some kind of serpent. It sounds like Tiacacuatl, but it's not him. It's the other one. It's his younger stepbrother, the not so famous god who's a little bit drunk in the eyes and in spirit, if you will. So he had many faces, as did he have many places to go. That's what he said, anyways, when he would disappear for hours on end in the jungle. I thought he was out there building pyramids or constructing, homes for him and his godlike friends, but no. Guess what he was doing? He was just out there sucking on cocoa leaves. I mean, I can't blame him. It's easy to get bored, but still, you're a god. You know? Don't do that. Those are our cocoa leaves. You made them for us. Now you owe us money. And this is where the fall comes from. The gods owe us money for drugs that they didn't pay for. So I'm trying to draw that meaning, the feeling, the essence of that ancient tale into this disgusting little doodle that I'm whittling away on, if that makes any sense. I hope not. I hope not. But I tried. You know what I mean? Well, actually, it was the pyramids down there are actually Aztec came after the Mayans. Mayans were first, pretty far, before, and then, I mean, practically almost the same people, right? But different in a lot of ways, more modern. And then it was the Olmecs who came before the Mayans, and then the Mayans built their stuff on top of Olmec pyramid stuffs and things, and then the Aztecs and the people down in Peru just built over ancient structures, and just basically were squatters, were ancient squatters. It was really the Olmecs and the people back then that were really, really trippy. Aztecs had cool art. Mayans had great art. Some of my favorite art in the world is from the Mayan hand. Very Egyptian, but the hieroglyphs are very similar to Egyptian. Just the way they did everything was really interesting. And they call them primitive people. They were far from primitive. I mean, isn't primitive a place in Ecuador? They lived really far away from primitive, or is it North Carolina? I think it's called primitive North Carolina, with the easiest zip code to remember: 00001 0. And that's it. And then from there, we just sit on the rocks and jumped off into the oceans of the great abyss and danced our way into the spirits and the hearts of all the people that we loved and had come before us, I guess. I hope that answered your question. Probably not. Sometimes when people ask me questions, they leave with more answers than they get questions for. I shit you not. I would never lie to you. Again. Kind of messed up right there a little bit, but I'll cut myself some slack for that. Quetzalcoatl. I almost can pronounce it. For as light as my skin is, I can actually pronounce words pretty well from other cultures and from other peoples. Poples. Or is it peoples? People. People. I can pronounce things pretty good, I promise. Once I practice it for about 100 years. Is what a pen? No, it's a kennel. This is actually a kennel. It's where I keep my dogs. And actually, the samurai used to just call these japens. You know, just because they invented the Sharpie. So in Japan, they're called japens, just to make it easier, just so they know where they came from, what territory, what part of the world. In America, they're just called, what the fuck did I say? Kennels. It's where America, we keep our dogs and everything. Don't even get me started on the Hollow Earth. We keep all sorts of weird shit down there. Anytime there's space, like it's like liminal space, you know, like the back rooms or something like that, you know, it's just wherever there's space, we're gonna fill it up with crap. That's the American dream right there. And to answer your question, yes, this is a pen. It's a Sharpie A, edition 3962 dash 4.0. The gilded kind. It's the gilded pen of forgotten lore and fantasy. But you already knew that, didn't you? Pretty sure you did. It doesn't like when people say shit, apparently. I'm sorry, Nameless. But I'll say it for you. The Nameless Fox says, "Holy shit, that's so terrible. I want to spit on your face, you jerk." And I don't know what I did to offend you, but, you know, I probably deserve it. When somebody says, "How about them apples?" they're not joking. I'm just kidding. The Nameless said it was cool. Or you liked it or something. Yeah, that's good. What the flip? Ask and you shall receive. Drawing with the pen is impressive. Oh. Oh, okay. I think I understand what you're saying. Well, I don't know if you've ever seen Indiana Jones and the Final Crusade or the Last Crusade. I've seen it quite a bit. When it came out in like 1990 or whatever, 1991, I must have seen it in the theaters 10 times. 10. At least 10 times, you know. We used to sneak into movie theaters back then. They didn't check the back door, so we would just go to the back door. My brother would go in, buy one ticket, and let 7 people in the back door, and nobody knew the wiser except for the people that saw us all come in and didn't say anything. Those, God bless their souls. It was a different time. The late 80s and early 90s. It's quite a time. No cameras. And get away with murder. And boy, howdy we did. Oh, how we did. Some of those bodies even floated to the surface after a few years, and still, nobody noticed a god-dang thing. Now put that in your pipe and don't smoke it, because you don't do drugs, kids. You don't even do drugs in metaphorically speaking terms, okay? Alright, crikey. I don't know about you, Passer, but I'm getting quite hungry. Hungry for some knowledge. Alright. My skin is quite light. I don't know what you mean. I'm practically transparent. I'm like one of them grey aliens. They're not really grey. They're just translucent. Horrible little critters. That's what I thought. I knew I was getting some kind of inkling. Let me turn... I think my Wi-Fi is probably off. Oh, no, it's off. 1 second. That's... Okay. Sorry, I had to check something really quick. I had to check me pulse to make sure I'm still alive. Here I am. Yep. There's another way to check if you're still alive or not. You can go and look in the mirror, but for me it's hard because, well, first of all, I broke all the mirrors years ago. I've been living in this horrible place for so long, I don't even remember what I look like. And then there's another way. You just rub garlic all over your face, and if you burn up like you would if you were in the sunlight, you're probably a vampire. In which case you should definitely be dead as it is. Because you're evil, and all you want to do is drink somebody's blood. But luckily for me, there's nobody here to drink but myself. And the only time I ever see my reflection is in the reflection of the blood that I'm sucking off the ground that came out of my neck. Holy hell, it's Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. Or as Luna so eloquently put it, Tuesday. Because today we get to make a choice, friends. Are we going to burn up under the bright heat of the beautiful big sun? Or are we going to go out and eat people? I said, are we going to go out and eat people, or are we going to get burned up by the sun, huh? What's the choice? Tuesday. Take a choose. Make a choose. Personally, I don't like the choices. But I'll take the latter. I'll just get, instead of the stairs, I'll get a ladder. Escalator don't work anyways. You just get caught on there. You'll trip. Hit your shin on one of those little metal comb tooth little staircase motherfuckers, and sorry, God damn it, what is it? Ugh. Hello, friends. I don't know what that person was doing, but I'm back and I'm ready to draw. So what the hell was he? What is this? What? I thought I was drawing flowers earlier. What is this? All these eyeballs. How am I supposed to... What am I supposed to do with this, Terry? No, I don't know. You're just draw. You can draw flowers if you want. I think I will then. I'll draw a flower. Fine. I will. I'll put one right here. I'll put a flower right here. I'm the flower man. Everybody makes fun of me, but it's true. Oh, I'm the flower man. There we go. The poppy flower man from Afghanistan. That's right, everybody. Oh. Was that a question for me? That wasn't even a question. That was a statement. Let me reassure you of 2 things. Taxes and laughter. And it goes in this order. Taxes taxes are good. Laughter is better than nothing. I wanna drink blood, 'cause I'm a vampire stuck up on the moon, where there is no sun, where there is no dad, where there is no daughter, where everybody is glad that there is no sun, 'cause we're all vampires on the motherfucking moon. That was Morse code, if anybody can decode that for me. That was the Morse code. So just so you know, that was the first of many moon songs I will be singing today. Not necessarily on camera, mostly off. I like to say that I did things. That way, if people ask, I can say, well, I did it off camera. And they say, well, there's cameras in every inch of that facility that you're stuck in, that I've been stuck in for the past 39 years, right? And I say to that, I say, well, there's certain corners where you can go to get some alone time, if you know what I mean. You've just got to know where to go and what time to do it. So, that's all. No big whoop. It's true, Lonely. And one of these days I'm going to turn the camera around and prove it. But you know what? I'm so goddamn transparent, you probably wouldn't even see me. Plus, I do eat a lot of garlic. And I'm quite hideous. Sometimes you've got to laugh. Personally, I get concerned with people's laughter. It's horrible if you're like telling jokes and somebody's in the same room and they actually do laugh at one of your jokes and their laugh is terrible. And it makes you want to shit your pants. What happens then? What do you do? It does take the air out of the bag. It does take the blood out of the ball. And it certainly takes the love out of the life. That makes for good eating. People with bad laughs need to go. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's true. I think we all know it. I'm just the one that said it. Don't eat the messenger. Just drink it. Okay, here we go. Does somebody cuss? Do I have to... What? Just shit. Fair enough. Matthew said just shit. Fair enough. Fair enough, Matthew. Point taken. Very true. Truer words, Matthew. Truer words, Matthew. Thank you, sir. You are a gentleman and a scholar. Someday. I'm trying to draw an eyelid on there, if anybody's wondering what I'm doing, because I want to bring the head up there like that a little bit, and I can bring the head out back there like that, and that's the jaw, but it's like this huge head thing with a bunch of faces in it. I like to talk about Bob Ross while I draw. Hope you don't mind. He had great hair and a wonderful voice, and he could paint like the Dickens. Isn't that right, Matthew? He was quite right. Quite a brilliant man. I used to get quite drunk in my early 20s and my late 20s and my early 30s. Quite drunk. And then the next day, I get 2 days off a week, go out one night, drink me arse off, and on, and back off again, and all that kind of stuff. But then the next day I'm hungover, nothing to watch on TV but Bob Ross. And guess what I did, Matthew? I watched. Happy little accidents, isn't that right? That is definitely right, Lonely. The happiest of little accidents. That's what life, that's exactly how you explain life. And that's exactly how life imitates art, isn't that right, Matthew? Chaos in a bubble. A little bubble in trouble. Try saying that 10 times fast. Or first. Whatever you want. I'm thirsty too, Pastor now. All these rhyming words. God damn it. And none of us can do anything about it. It's the goddamn government. Making up words and shit. And shit. We can all be shitty little accidents together. How about that? But first, just like in those AA classes, you've got to admit that you're a shitty person. In order to do more acts of shittiness, you've got to just admit it and roll with it. You absolutely 1001% just have to roll with it. And don't be something that you're not. If you're an asshole, go 1001% with that. Don't try to be something you're not. I respect people who just are sheer assholes. Pure, honorable assholes. I want to be one. I strive. I attempt. I fake, but I'm not. I never could be. Because I'm a miserable little bastard. I'm not an asshole. I'm just a miserable little bastard. That's all. No more, no less, much less actually. Especially on Tuesday. But that's for another time. Maybe from about 12 minutes from now, perhaps. Personally, I don't like love. That's why I like life so much. It ruins it. It ruins it for everybody. Just like when I break the fourth wall. People expect that when I'm talking, I'm being honest. And when I break the fourth wall, it's obvious that I'm just lying. That everything I've just said is a big lie. And that I'm really just some little miserable bastard. Wait. I thought if that was all a lie, am I still a miserable... Wait, hold on a second. I just had an existential falling out with existentia. Sorry, sweetie. Please come back. Please come back. I remember going to, back in March of 2019, a friend of mine took me to New York for another friend of ours, bachelor, sort of like bachelor weekend or whatever. I was just telling this story recently, but how I was just thinking about how the guy outside right now, I'm in here immersed in this little session and live on YouTube, who knows who watching and this sort of stuff, coming and going. But there's just some dude out there blowing leaves, and that's like his life right now. That's exactly what he's immersed in. And then I just started thinking about how my friend took me to New York, and we stayed in a place right near Hell's Kitchen, and it was like overlooking Hell's Kitchen. If you don't know much about Hell's Kitchen, the buildings are fairly small. Like I said, there's a lot of apartments and brick brick buildings and things like that, brownstones, and um, they're 4 or 6 stories high, generally speaking. But there's a lot of them in the same area. So we were in this building that was fairly new, and it was overlooking Hell's Kitchen, and it was like, man, god damn, this place was. We were on the 39th floor or something like that, and it was like maybe 60 stories. I had never, and it was an Airbnb, and it had floor to window ceilings, or I'm sorry, floor to window windows, floor to ceiling windows. Jesus Christ, can't even. And which was another thing that was just flabbergasting because it like watching the city. It was just amazing to watch the city from that vantage point because it really is just this living. We are the blood. We are the blood that circulates in the veins of the streets and like the alleys and the corridors and the buildings and we create everything. We create everything that we see around us pretty much. We in a way I feel like my art is a reaction to what I see around me because there's a lot of straight lines and right angles and things and stuff, but then there's like organic, vines and limbs and trees and this sort of stuff mixed in with it too. And that's the more I look at, a city, especially something like as big as, I mean, they don't call it the concrete jungle for nothing, man. It just goes on and on and on and on. It's so surreal. But up at that vantage, you're looking down at Hell's Kitchen, and then you look past Hell's Kitchen because it's right below you, and then you're looking past it, and it's just huge skyscrapers just dwarfing it. And what a spot that was to stay in. What a privilege, just to be able to see how that, and that night, how everything just comes alive, and how it just never, never stops moving. It never stops moving, just like a body. And the world is the same way too, but it's a really fascinating thing because before, so many hundreds of years ago or whatever, that shit didn't even exist. It wasn't even there. But we just created this massive behemoth engine that just creates and destroys and hurts and helps and all sorts of things all at once. And that's just one city. That's just one, that was just one area of Manhattan that I was like looking at. It's just an interesting thing to be so connected to each other, but then there's still people that come out of the woodwork and are just like, they want to spend their time just being weird or bullies. And I don't mean that just on like live streams. I'm talking about like in real life too. Like if you're just driving down the street, going the speed limit, and some fucking person gets behind you and just is trying to kill you, like drive you off the road because they want to go 5 miles faster than you. It's like, when did that become a thing? I mean, it's been a thing for a while, but like who does that kind of? Because then you know exactly what that person is like. I mean, they're just, but you obviously don't know either because they could be, their fucking foot could be cut off and they're trying to go to the hospital, or they're on their lunch break and they're just trying to go to Taco Bell, like one or the other, and everything in between. And isn't that life? Isn't that wonderful? Absolutely terrifying, but perfect at the same time. Perfect, and it's amazing when people do find courage or find confidence in this world, or when they find themselves even, and you get to watch them change into like the person that they were always meant to be. Or people that choose kindness over degradation or hatred or debasing or judging. Truly judging people is like something that I need to get over. Because I was raised by somebody who judges people right on sight. My dad used to just call people that looked poor pukes. That was his thing. Pukes. Look at those pukes. I grew up hearing that shit and hearing how bad people of color are and how bad people, and not just, I don't mean just, black people or anything like that, but just poor looking brown people were always just pukes to my dad. And I hope he has changed. I don't, I would hope that he has. But that was back when he was a police officer too. And so I take people being racist or being bullies or bigoted or just anything like that, I take that shit kind of personal because I was raised by somebody who treated me like I was a criminal rather than a human being. And I abhor bullies of all shapes and sizes. I don't know how often I have to tell this. It's just a disclaimer. And you all should too. You should never put up with bullies and always stick up for the little guy and try to make people happy instead of putting them down, holding them back. That's how life should be. That's what I think America should be. Not I, me, mine, and shit. People should be out there helping each other instead of holding them back, putting them down, cutting them off at the freeway. Long story short, drive safe, people. Yeah, people are crazy. Hell's Kitchen? It's an area of Manhattan. I believe it's on the southeast, Let's see. I'm trying to look at it in my head. I think it's the south. It's the bottom towards, yeah, southeast, and it's down where, God, I'm trying to think. It's like 10 blocks away from Times Square, like east of Times Square, basically. Because I went there a few times in my life, and it's really cool because we stayed in our friend's apartment, and he was an actor, but he was doing a play in Connecticut. So when we went there, and it was in 2003, or I'm sorry, 2000 March of 2004, we went there for the first time and stayed a week. And my friend was gone for the week because, or for a few months, because he was doing a play in Connecticut. So he let us use his apartment, and it was freaking cool. And I have like really fond memories of that first trip, except that I wish I would have worn better shoes. I was wearing these like big old fat steel-toed boots, and by the end of the week I was freaking crippled. I was crying and stuff because my feet hurt so bad. And we were trying to like walk miles back to the apartment just so we could sleep for 2 hours, just so we could get up, pack, and get on the plane again and stuff. I had no idea how important shoes were until that trip. How important it is to have good shoes. Um, Still an amazing trip. I was just being a little bitch, which isn't a bad thing if you're a bitch. I'm not saying it's bad. I just strive not to be. Who am I to judge? But yeah, so, and we stayed in his apartment, which was in Hell's Kitchen. That's why I know a little bit about it. And it was literally like back in the day, it was just a place where you'd see bodies, dead bodies all the whole time. It was gnarly. But it's since has changed quite a bit. Times Square is nothing like what it used to be either, which is probably a good thing. But it used to be very, very, very seedy, and now it's just tourist. It's like Tokyo or something. The way that the streets are closed off, and it's just you go there and just get photos and selfies, and I guess you do that. You used to do that too, but it's way more commercial looking now and pretty looking now. Even because I went there in 2019 and I hadn't been there since 2004. So during that time, they changed it into like an amusement park, basically. It was it's very strange. And I hadn't before we went out there in 2004. I had quit drinking, and so one night we were there for a few nights and we hadn't drank anything. My friend Luke wouldn't drink around me necessarily, which was nice of him. But um, one night we went out with some of our friends and the actor friends and stuff, including this dude who lived this like Hollywood producer, not Hollywood, Broadway producer. This famous Broadway producer. He's like this old man now, but or he's probably passed away by now. But we went to his house afterwards, and um, I think he wanted me and my friend to do stuff in front of him, or he had asked us, and we're like, no, we're gonna go now. It got kind of weird, but he was like this really frail old man, and he still was all excited about young men, and we were in our early 20s and shit. So I probably looked pretty good. But he had like these original like drawings from this famous caricature artist that I can't remember the name of right now, who did all these portraits of Hollywood actors and Broadway actors and all this stuff. Oh God, what was his name? He's like a famous caricature artist, and there are all these black and white photos of Broadway, like Well, at dinner, he was sort of because I wasn't used to ever like hanging out with people like of that caliber. Luke was because he was raised in like a pretty wealthy family and stuff, and he's been around like people in social situations and like older, like professional people. Whereas I just was so green when I was 24. That was around when I was 24, and I had shaved my head. I was like a punk rocker and stuff. So I'm meeting all these fancy people, and I'm like, what the fuck? But I was still very kind. I just, my everything about me though screamed. Now that I'm looking back, I looked like a skinhead or something or whatever. Even though I'm not. I wasn't. But I was wearing steel-toed boots, and I was just like, I wasn't one of them anyways. And but at this dinner party, the old man was asking us like who we were because they were all wondering who me and my friend Luke were and how we knew anybody there. So we were telling we knew our friend and he was who Dwayne who was there uh, and told them our story and what did I say? I actually made the guy laugh because he made fun of us and he's like because I said yeah we he went down and I told the story about how my friend Luke went down to California to pick me up because I was homeless and that not many people would do that and we lived together and we working on videos and music and stuff and the old producer guy was like well isn't that special you guys just have a really perfect little life or something like that but it was really like sarcastic borderline condescending and because he was a smart ass too and then I said something like well, we do die in the end, or something like that. He's like, well, isn't that a nice little story, or something like that? And I'm like, well, we all die in the end. And I got a huge like laugh out of him and like his partner. And then he was like, I want you guys to come over to the house after dinner. And of course we did because you know, it was amazing to meet these people. And I wanted to see more of the art that he was talking about because I was like, even then that night, I had had a beer or something, and so I was kind of feeling it a little bit, and because I hadn't had a drink in quite a while, and what was it? Oh yeah, so because I draw, even when I was at bars and things like that, I'm always just sitting there drawing, and people are like, "What the fuck?" Because I'll be drawing this at a bar, and people walk by and do a double take. But the old guy was like, "You should see some of the art that's in my place," and I'm like, "You're not gonna try to come on to us, are you?" And he's like, "Oh hell no, hell no." Yes, I am. You still want to come? Oh yeah, sure, let's go. No, just kidding. He was cool. He wasn't. He did say something about him wanting us to do stuff, but I was like, no. I have to be attracted to somebody for that to even like there to be anything like that to happen. And my friend Luke and I aren't attracted to each other. we're 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 brothers. But how much money do you have? I mean, because we are broke. No, it was a cool trip. And then we actually got to go out and see Dwayne's show in Connecticut. So we took a train out to Connecticut, got off the train in where is I think Harvard is where um gosh I wish I can't think right now. New Haven. I think it's Yale or Harvard. I think it's Harvard that's there. I'm not sure, but it's the one that George W. Bush went to and all the crossing skull and fuckers went to or whatever go to. Um, but as soon as we got off the train, it was just like poverty central. It was just all the way to where we needed to go. It was just like the ghetto and shit. I was just like, this is New Haven. This is where Harvard is. It's crazy. And then you get to town and it was a little bit better, like a little bit more touristy and stuff, I guess. But we met this dude, this little black dude that like followed us up like the street and I got him on film. I filmed him. I interviewed him. He was asking us all these questions because we had cameras and stuff, big old fat cameras. We were filming everything, and and I remember him stopping us and he's like, "Where you guys going? Where you guys this and that?" And I'm so and so. I'm from over here. I'm from the project or something like that. And he was really cool, really funny. And I remember just like asking him all these questions and we filmed this entire conversation on our way to where we were going. And at the very end of it, he asked us if we had money. Like, and I felt bad because we actually didn't have money. Because I totally would have given him a few bucks if I had it. Because he was like our little tour guide for for like 6 blocks. Um, but yeah, I we got him on film, and I always wanted to find that footage and recut because we did like this rough cut of our entire trip that we called the journey. But I wanted to find that guy again because I always wanted to find him, and if I ever were to make it big, I was gonna find him and give him money. I don't know how I would have made it big in what way, but if I were to ever have robbed a bank, I would have gone back to New Haven and found that young man and given him some money. He deserved it. New Haven was a trip, though. The subways were a trip. Still, I like. It's a place that I could go and visit, but it's a place that I don't think I'd ever want to live. I'm 45 years old. Going on 10. And I wheeze a lot for some reason when I laugh. I don't fully laugh. I just go. And somehow that's considered laughter. I will never understand that. Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm 45 going on 12. That's exactly right. I have a great fascination and a great curiosity for the world and its people. And had I been able to garner a little bit of whatever it is that would allow me to explore and do the things I really want to do, this would have been an interesting life. Because I've got a lot of ideas, and there's a lot of people that I really wish I could help in more ways than just giving them a few bucks. I want to give people jobs, creative jobs. Goddamn dog. So freaking cute. Son of a bitch, that dog is cute. Actually, it's pretty cute. It's my neighbor's dog. It's a cute little bastard. Did I say cute? Yeah. Yeah. You cute ass little dog. Oh, I think it's coming together. Coming together. Something's happening. Counting out her pills. Mama's thinking she's no good for anyone. The oil fields are in my lap, and I clap my hands to keep them back. I'm my brother's got the urge to kill, but Ashley keeps him from the film. They're living day beyond. and stuff and things. I like drawing eyes. I figure anywhere you can draw an eye, do it. Why not? Somebody sleeping at the bus stop, draw an eyeball on their forehead. Why not? And run for your fucking life, because if they wake up and they find you doing it, they're gonna fucking kill you. Maybe. Happened to me twice when I lived in Portland. Yeah. I've been killed 17 times for drawing eyeballs on somebody's forehead. The same person, too. The same damn person. And now it's just a running gag. I mean, how many times can we kill Storie? I think the actual gag should be, how many times can we bring Storie back to life, am I right? Don't answer that. I don't want to know. To know is to have knowledge. And knowledge is power. And I am powerless. Thank you. I have work to do. I can't lollygag with those kinds of shenanigans. I haven't got time for it. Too much work to do. Does anybody want some tea? And by tea I do mean testosterone. I've got it in abundance. Shenaniganery. It's also where I can my shenanigans. And the warehouse is called the chicanery. Chicanery. The shenanigan chicanery. Just to save time. Who doesn't want to save time? You'd be a hero if you could save time. Imagine that, if time didn't exist. Just imagine. Imagine if time wasn't real. No one would look at their watches. You know when you floss your teeth and then an hour later you like bite down on one of your teeth and it feels like it's gonna explode out of your fucking head because it hurts so bad? Because whatever you did popped something out. Now there's like a crevice or like a hole there, and so your tooth like settles into it because it's a little bit sore at the same time, and you want to scream in pain and agony as you drive yourself half dim-witted to the dentist because you had to dull the pain somehow, and you started drinking whiskey again after all those years. Do you remember that? Does anybody else have that happen? Well, I didn't start drinking whiskey again, thankfully, but Lord knows. My teeth wish I did. I couldn't imagine being a dentist. Like, cleaning people's teeth, looking in people's mouths and shit. Like, fuck that. I don't even like looking in mine. Jeez. We call it shitfuckery. Welcome aboard, sir, to the shipfuckery. Sorry. Yeah, it's our ship. It's called fuckery. So you call it the shipfuckery? Yeah, because if you could just call it the fuckery, people get all confused. And why is that? Because there's already a fuckery across the street on dry land. It's where people go to fuck off and fuck around and find out, right? The fuckery, shipfuckery now. Fuckery. It's right across the street now. Just look, sir, look across the street. You know what I mean. Gotta be handy with the steel to earn your keep at the ship fuckery. bloody off. Quite awful. A little bit off. Off me rocker. Off me rock and roll. That's for darn sure. How about them? Right there. Just gonna point to things and make it look like I'm doing something technical when I'm really not. I'm just buying time. I'm just fucking the shit. I probably shouldn't be cussing so much. If there's any children watching, why are you watching? Get off. You shouldn't be watching this. God damn it. Go watch cartoons. There's a mass extinction coming, friends. I don't know if you know that or not. And if you don't, I'm the first one to tell you. It's a mass extinction of creativity and hair loss products. Thank God. Am I right? Thank sweet God. All of them. In a row. Thank them all. Pay your respects. Oh, sorry. Oh, that's the cutest little skull. Skull fuckery. I want to say that dude's name was Terry. That we met in New Haven. He was really cool, actually. But then there's like this point where people like linger with you for so long, and then you're like, okay, are you gonna ask for money, or are you gonna stab me and take my money? Well, the money that I didn't have. I went to New York with like, what was it? I was amazed that I was able to save up or have any money at all, but I only had like $200 when we went over there. And then you like buy you buy a slice of pizza and a fucking Pepsi, and you're broke. It's a very, very expensive place. It was also my first time on a plane, on a big old jet plane. 2004. It was interesting being able to watch a movie on the plane. I forget what I watched. I think it was the movie with The Rock, or like, and that blonde guy. Walk Tall or something like that. One of those movies. There was nothing else on, so we had headphones, and so I just watched it. Alright, everybody. That's my story. And I'm just sticking to it. I was actually writing a song. It's growing on me. Like kids running wild, like kids running wild in the backseat, and a sense of denial while you grit your teeth. $1 on the mile for every word you speak. Whoa, whoa. Oh shit. I'm still working on it, but it's a country western song called "You're Growing on Me," like a cancer stick or something. I don't even know. All my songs, I know 3 chords. I know 3 chords, and a bitch ain't one. How about that? All right. Well, you guys take care of yourselves. I'm gonna go get more of my day going and figure out what I'm gonna do with my life. Hopefully something cool, and all that stuff. So go out there and be safe. Have fun today. Thank you for everything, Pastor. Appreciate it. Oh, thank you. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. Thanks, Lonely. You take care of yourself now. Bye-bye.